Okay, here's some.
Thank you.
Here's some. Here's some.
Got an extra there.
Here's
No,
some
y'all
more.
got it. Just right now.
You good?
Just right now.
I
don't know how you did that.
Okay. You don't get one. Okay, this is really important stuff, man. All right. Okay. On the back. Get your cell phone out and dial the number. And text join to that number. Okay? I don't see. Get the phones up. Let's see. Everybody say phones. Okay, the next thing, it's on the paper. The next thing is the address. The P.O. box on the back, right here in this section, is wrong. But the good news is, right here, when it says you can make a tax-deductible donation to us, the address is correct. I don't know if that was intentional or what. Like, if you want to complain, go ahead and use the address that's on there. If you want to send a check, use this one.
8068.
And that does a lot to pay Jenny and David Ferguson. And, but, you know, if we charge $50 each for these, we'd still lose money. A lot of time and effort. Okay, Dan, talk about
Just
that.
for you, that was a huge thing, and I don't know what Mark meant when he says coming back up again. I'm sure someone will bring it back up again, but just an update on that. Senator Hickey, you all may want to talk about it too, but Senator Hickey made a request that legislative audit, take a look at that. Legislative audit was going to look at it anyway. It wasn't like somebody was hiding it, whether they look at it now or a few months from now. I would suspect that legislative audit will look into it.
Yeah, do they know what you're talking about being looked into?
I don't know. But ask the question and I'll answer it.
Are you referring to signatures by the governor?
Yes, I'm sorry, yeah. Signature by the governor on the.
Just in case you couldn't say it out
How
loud.
much do you think that's going to be worth?
Yeah. We're trying to do a favor. We're trying to do a favor there.
Responsible citizen.
But yeah, on the governor's lectern, there are people asking for legislative audit to look into how that money was spent. And you see Matt Campbell and many others on the left who have written long articles, multiple articles, for you on how they got those expenditures. So Senator Hickey from Texarkana has been asked to make a recommendation to legislative audit that legislative audit investigate, and that would happen anyway. If he didn't make the request, legislative audit, that's part of their process. It's going to happen sooner rather than later, which is probably a good thing. And legislative audit then will look at whatever Matt Campbell or Democrat Gazette or whoever else wrote about that, and the legislative audit will establish the facts of what happened, when it happened, and who did what. The legislative committee we are not the executive branch. So we don't have, whatever we find out, we don't have any power to punish anybody, to do anything, but legislative audit can make recommendations and often does make recommendations to prosecuting attorneys. So if anything has been done illegally, then legislative audit would make that recommendation. You can look for that to happen somewhere around the 12th of this month. And legislative audit will be investigating all that's going on. Talking to Joe and Brenda before, nobody wanted to know who spent the night with Bill Clinton when he rented a room to anybody in for his entire term. Nobody audited who spent the night there. Nobody audited when Asa went to China and took his son who did business and others. Nobody audited that.
I sure asked a lot of questions about it.
Well, I'll be asking that audit question during audit if we're going to go look backwards on this and how far back we can go. Because there needs to be some perspective there. Should the people know? Absolutely. Should the people know everything that's out there? Absolutely. But let's do it in a manner that doesn't do it like some people are, We just want to sling mud everywhere and see where it sticks. That's not what the legislative process is about, and I don't support that. But I do support legislative audit, taking a look and putting the facts and the timeline, who did what when.
And so, just so that everyone's clear about Conduit's position, you know, we have a young woman who works with us for Conduit News, Jean Gordon Dowden, and she's done a fabulous job with the FOIA. She's been personally involved with Moms for Liberty, and so it's very important to her. And she keeps up with everything, and the level of media coverage for this issue about this podium, she's very frustrated because Conduit is not really, we're not interested in throwing mud on somebody. We want government to be transparent, and we want to make sure that it doesn't grow anymore, and we want it to shrink so that we can have more freedom, our freedoms back. That's our focus. And so we are not out there seeing what, you know, the governor may have done with the $19,000, $27,000, whatever order. When we have millions that we're losing or being taxed on, you know, we don't want to be distracted by something that is not really rising to the level of, you know, where were you when Asa's son was representing the Chinese who are, you know, I mean, just the level of outrage over, you know, picking and choosing your outrage. So I just want everyone to know here that don't get discouraged because Conduit might not be covering this story like you think we should. We do care what government does. We care what our governor does, no matter who the governor is and what the governor's doing. But we try not to get pulled into these food fights, so to speak. So if anybody has a question on that, we're happy to answer it.
Yeah, we'll do a Q&A at the end, so make your notes. Like I said, I started out saying that all designs are bad. All government is bad. I mean, government is force. Government force, same thing. And I explained this to people my age that they remember the Constitution like from high school, 40 years ago or longer, and they don't have a clue. So, well, here's the question I ask them: why do we need government at all? Why? We want to have a government. And eventually they get to answer of, well, because the people won't do the right thing. Not everybody will do the right thing. And we need a government to make sure they don't get out of line. Okay, great. So can we like identify all those people that won't do the right thing? I mean, can we like put them on this side of the country, or can we make them wear a brown hat, or can we identify each and every one of them that won't do the right thing?
A mask.
A mask, yeah. A mask. Yeah,
COVID, a chip, yeah.
But no, seriously.